I hear you, and I understand that this might be difficult to digest. Please know that my intention is to share this with love, even though it may seem harsh at first. Every word, every silence, and every pause comes from a place of deep care for you. The love I feel for you is constant, unwavering, and pure. It's important for you to know that the choices I've made, no matter how they may have seemed, have always been motivated by a desire to protect the bond we share. I know it might have felt like I was pushing you away, like I was closing the door on us, and that must have been painful. But I want to assure you, that's not the case. This isn't a story of abandonment. It isn't a sign that my feelings for you have changed. Quite the opposite. Everything I've done, every decision, has been about keeping you safe, even if that meant creating distance. The truth is, there are things happening in the background, forces and influences that I can't fully explain yet that led me to this point. I wish I could lay it all out for you, but the truth, in this case, is hidden for a reason. The times when you tried to reach me, when you called, when you texted, and when you felt like you were being ignored, those moments hurt me as much as they hurt you. Please understand, I didn't do it because I wanted to hurt you or push you away. I didn't block you or ignore you out of spite or indifference. It was because I had to. There's a person, someone whose existence we cannot ignore, who is watching, and if they were to know just how much I care for you, everything we've built together could be torn apart. This person, whose influence I can't fully describe, has the power to destroy everything if they find out the truth of our connection. So, I've acted in ways that seem harsh, but they're not about abandoning you. They're about protecting us. I know this must sound confusing and painful, and for that, I'm sorry. But please understand that love has always been the guiding force behind every step I've taken, even when those steps seemed like they were leading us further apart. I didn't want to act in this way. I didn't want to leave you wondering, but the truth is, I didn't have a choice. At the time, the only way I could think of to protect you, and to protect us, was to create a barrier, to cut off communication, to hide our love in the shadows, even though it tore at my heart to do so. I wish I could have explained it to you then. I wish I could have told you the full story, but there are things I can't share yet. The world, the forces that are at play, won't let me. So I did what I had to do in order to keep you safe and to ensure that we still have a future together. It's a painful decision, but it's the only one I could make. In the time that we've been apart, I've spent countless hours thinking about you. Every time I heard your name, whether in my thoughts or whispered by the wind, my heart ached for you. I thought about the laughter we shared, the way you made everything feel brighter, and the strength you showed, even when things got hard. And I thought about the future we could have, one where we could stand side by side, facing whatever comes, without fear of the forces that are trying to tear us apart. I believe, with all my heart, that one day we'll look back on this time and understand that every painful moment, every tear, every unanswered call, was a sacrifice made to preserve something beautiful and pure. Please don't mistake my silence for disinterest. The truth is that every unanswered call, every message I didn't send, every text I didn't reply to, was part of a larger plan. It wasn't about cutting you out. It was about protecting you. I had to make the world believe we were nothing more than a passing moment in each other's lives. I had to make it seem like our connection meant nothing, when in reality, it means everything. You are not just a fleeting thought to me. You are the very heartbeat of my existence, and nothing will ever change that. When I think of you, of the life we could have shared, I'm filled with a bittersweet longing. I think about how we might have been living our lives together, side by side. But even with that dream in my heart, I know I couldn't risk exposing what we have to the eyes of those who want to control and manipulate it. The world can be a dangerous place when people like that get involved. I had to act carefully, to hide you from the forces that would try to break us apart. I had to make our love seem insignificant, even though it is the most important thing in my life. But even though we've been apart, please know that in my heart, you are always with me. The space between us, the silence we've endured, it's temporary. It's only a pause, a moment in time that will eventually pass. I believe that in time, the people and forces trying to keep us apart will fade away, like a storm passing over a quiet town. And when that happens, we'll be free. We'll be able to step out from the shadows and into the light, where we belong. This separation, as painful as it is not the end. It's just a chapter in our story that we have to get through before we can truly be together. I've learned that love sometimes requires sacrifice, and sometimes silence can be more powerful than words when it comes to preserving something as fragile as what we share. But I promise you, every decision I've made, every moment of silence, has been with you in mind. It's all been part of a larger plan, a plan that I hope will lead us to a future where we can love each other without fear. I know it's hard. I know it's painful. But I ask you to trust me. The pain we're going through right now will eventually give way to something beautiful. I can already see it, the day when we can finally be together again, when I can open up to you completely and tell you everything. And when that day comes, I'll fall into your arms without hesitation, and we'll pick up right where we left off. In the meantime, please remember that I am thinking of you constantly. Every time I close my eyes, I see your face. And every time I open them, I long for the day when I can see you again. I'm fighting for that day. I'm fighting in every silent moment, in every quiet hour, for the day when we can be free to love each other openly and without fear. I know it's hard to trust in a future that feels so far away, but I want you to know that my love for you remains as strong as ever. Even though we're apart now, I'm doing everything I can to ensure that our future will be filled with the light of our love. And I promise you, as soon as next month, we'll be able to step out from the shadows. We'll be able to embrace each other and build the life we've always dreamed of. So, until that day comes, please hold on. Hold on to the truth that our love is strong enough to withstand this trial. I know it's hard. I know it feels like an endless winter, but spring is coming. The storm will pass. And when it does, we'll be stronger, more resilient, and more in love than ever before. Amen. If you'd like to show your support, you can give super thanks up to 20.